I was halfway through my second coffee when Jude walked in, flanked by Rowan, Glenn, and Travis like they were on some kind of mission. It was a Tuesday morning, same as any other. I was prepping slides for the weekly update. Nothing fancy, just plugging in some charts and tightening up bullet points. Jude didn't say good morning. He didn't look me in the eye. Just slapped a piece of paper down on my desk, like it was a damn eviction notice. "We all sign this," he said. "We're asking leadership to remove you from the department." His voice echoed across the open floor. He didn't whisper. He wanted people to hear. I stared at the paper. 23 names, every analyst, every specialist, even the interns. People I'd gone to bat for. People I stayed late to help, joked with over vending machine coffee, defended when their metrics slipped. And here they were, lined up like a firing squad. Quick note, before we go any further, tell us which country or city you're watching from. I picked up the paper, scanned it slowly. My hands were steady, but something inside me sank like a stone. It was all there in black ink, Rowan's stiff little signature, Glenn's messy scrawl, even Tessa's rounded cursive. I nodded once like I'd just been handed a memo about printer toner. I didn't blink. "Thanks for bringing this to me," I said. "I'll make sure upper management sees it." Jude hesitated, like he expected me to yell or cry or beg. I didn't give him the satisfaction. I turned back to my monitor and started typing like nothing happened. My fingers were stiff, cold against the keyboard. The screen swam a little, but I didn't let it slow me down. They had no clue what I'd been building, no idea what I'd been tracking. Every click, every KPI, every lazy email thread. I had it all. And that big quarterly review in 2 weeks? They were about to find out exactly how wrong they were. 6 months earlier, I got pulled into the VP's office on a random Thursday afternoon. Room was too quiet. I sat down across from Martin, our VP of strategy. He didn't smile, just turned his laptop toward me. Imogen, the CEO, was already on the call. "We need you to take over analytics," she said. "It's outdated, underperforming, and if it doesn't turn around in 9 months, we cut it. Cut it. Not fix it, not help it. Just kill it if it didn't make money fast." I'd been running product dev for 2 years. Clean systems, clear growth, predictable results. I made things happen. I thought this was my shot to make a real difference. Fix something broken, prove I could lead outside my lane. I took it, no hesitation. Day 1, I showed up early with donuts from that overpriced bakery near HQ. I had a short welcome deck printed out. Simple, nothing fluffy, just, "Here's where we are. Here's what I think we can do." Half the seats were empty. No one said anything when I walked in, just stared at their screens. Jude came in 20 minutes late, leaned against the wall with a smirk. I didn't even finish my second slide before he cut in. "We've been doing this for a decade. Clients are happy. The problem's not us." I didn't take the bait. I just clicked to the next slide. Hard numbers. Client churn up 14%. Acquisition costs through the roof. Retention barely holding. Silence. Then a few eye rolls. A scoff from Glenn. Someone started tapping their pen like I was wasting their time. That night, I stayed late cleaning up old folders, digging into system logs, checking how far back the tracking went. The place was a mess. 5 different BI tools, none connected. Metrics copied into Excel, then emailed around like it was 2004. The next morning, I came in and my nameplate was gone. Not moved, gone. Later that day, a few of my shared drive permissions suddenly vanished. Slack channels started dropping off one by one. IT wasn't sure what happened. It wasn't sabotage exactly, but it wasn't accidental either. I didn't complain, didn't escalate, I just got to work. I printed out every legacy process I could find, took handwritten notes, stayed until the janitor started turning off lights. I reverse engineered dashboards, taught myself their patchwork system. By week 2, I had a whiteboard full of breakdowns and rebuilds. Nobody asked for it. Nobody offered help. I didn't care. The whole department was running on duct tape and ego. And I was going to rip the whole thing down to the studs. By week 3, I was ready to pitch the overhaul, full rebuild. Deep analytics, not surface-level fluff. I laid it out in simple terms, track behavior, not just clicks. Clean data, real insights, measurable value. Next meeting, no one looked up from their laptops. My emails got lost. People stopped sitting near me in the break room. Rowan and Travis started whispering behind closed doors every damn day. At the next exec review, Jude took the floor like he owned the building, presented a dip in Q2 numbers like it was my doing. "We lost momentum under the new leadership," he said. "Clients aren't connecting with the new processes." I waited. Let him run his mouth. Then I clicked in, my own set of slides, hard engagement data showing a 12% rise since implementation started. Conversion quality was trending up. Churn was slowing. The curve wasn't dramatic yet, but it was real. Bennett, the CFO, barely looked up from his damn notes. The following week, my presentation deck for a senior review got altered. Someone deleted key data, skewed projections, and reordered slides so the whole flow fell apart. I didn't notice until I was already standing in front of the leadership team. I had to freestyle the whole thing. No notes, no script, just memory and grit. I got through it, barely, and I didn't yell. I didn't send angry emails. I just quietly pulled the access logs, compared file versions, matched timestamps. Jude's name showed up more than once. So did Glenn's. I wasn't going to win by whining. While they played games, I got to work in the shadows. Lyle, quiet guy, fresh out of grad school, started staying late. I saw him watching me during team calls, saw the way his eyes lit up when we talked about predictive models. I handed him one task, then another. He delivered. Fast, no ego, no drama. We built test models after hours, ran simulations, stress-tested data pipelines. While they passed around petitions and whispered in corners, I was building something they couldn't see coming. By the 5th month, the numbers finally broke through the noise. Client retention started climbing, slow, then steady. Repeat business picked up. A couple smaller accounts came back after going dark. Revenue wasn't soaring yet, but the shape of the curve had changed. Still, Jude kept hammering the same line in every meeting. "We're still behind last year," he'd say, arms folded like a judge. That's the only thing leadership cares about. Didn't matter that last year was inflated garbage. Didn't matter that we were tracking real metrics now. Then I got an email from a client, mid-tier, tough to please. Subject line: "Whatever you're doing, it's working." Short message, just said they noticed. They appreciated the improvements. They were renewing. I forwarded it to the team thread. No comment, just the message. Next morning, Rowan walks into the strategy sync with a deck called Client Lockdown Framework. I clicked through it while he was talking. It was my retention system, rearranged and watered down. He even threw in one of my phrases: stickiness over sentiment. I didn't say a word. Didn't call him out. I opened a new folder on my desktop and named it Repeat Offenders. I dropped the deck in there, dated it, filed it. 3 weeks out from the quarterly review, I shut down social, canceled dinner plans, stopped checking the group thread altogether. I worked until past midnight, 3 nights straight, checking every formula, every link, every stat. I printed hard copies. I rebuilt the visuals by hand in case the digital ones accidentally disappeared. By the time the quarterly meeting rolled around, I had backups of backups. I had timelines, I had logs, and I had the story, not a guess, proof. We all gathered in the executive boardroom, everyone in jackets and fake smiles. Division heads went first. Safe reports, moderate growth, nothing risky. Jude sat across from me with his usual smirk, nodding through every slide like he'd already won. Then my deck came up. I walked them through it clean and cold. Client retention up 340%. Acquisition costs down 22%. Pipeline for new business doubled. There were audible gasps. Someone dropped their pen. I saw Bennett glance up from his notes for the first time in months. Imogen leaned forward. "Explain how you did this." I didn't look at Jude. Didn't look at anyone but her. "We cleaned house," I said. "We ditched vanity metrics, rebuilt the tracking system, and started using real-time behavioral data. We tested every change in control cycles before rollout. Everything you see is already active, nothing hypothetical." 2 days after the review, I got called into the glass office again. This time, it was all smiles. Martin was there. Bennett, too. "We'd like to offer you a promotion," Martin said. 3 options, actually. He slid a folder across the table. Big titles, bigger salary bands, corner offices with reserved parking. I didn't even open it. I want to start a new team instead, I said. Cross-division, no legacy structure, handpicked by me. Martin blinked. You don't want the executive seat? Nope. Bennett raised an eyebrow. That's a lot to walk away from. I didn't flinch. What I want is freedom. I want to build something that works without dragging dead weight. They paused, then nodded. They knew I'd earned the leverage. The announcement went out the next morning. The company's first innovation team was being formed. I would lead it. No inherited staff, no restrictions. By lunchtime, I had a line outside my office. In the end, I chose 14, not based on apologies, not politics, merit and potential. That's it. Lyle was first on the list, obviously. Kid had been in the trenches with me. Tessa too, quietly sharp, always 2 steps ahead on data design. Glenn, not a chance. Travis, number. Too much attitude, not enough output. Rowan surprised me. He owned what he did, didn't beg, just said, if there's ever a second chance, I'll show you I'm different. I didn't say yes, but I didn't shut the door either. Every choice I made during that 2-week stretch shaped what came next. And I made damn sure not a single one of those picks was based on fear. We moved into what used to be a storage room. No windows, no carpet, exposed wiring in the ceiling. The only thing they gave us was permission. Everything else we built from scratch. No titles, no offices, just an open floor plan, folding tables, and rotating seats. I laid down 3 rules. 1, adapt fast. 2, collaborate hard. 3, leave ego at the damn door. First few weeks were chaos. People kept looking around, waiting for structure that wasn't coming. They were used to managers and memos. I gave them ownership and deadlines. A few froze, a few flailed. Jude walked in like he was still running things. Loud voice, sharp elbows. Cut people off in brainstorms, challenged everything like he was teaching a class no one asked for. I didn't call him out. I just let the results speak. Lyle took over client journey mapping, mapped 12 flows in 5 days, tied them to retention risk triggers, and proved 3 quick wins in the first week. The guy was on fire, quiet, fast, precise. Tessa came in with visuals that looked like marketing decks, sleek, punchy, zero fluff. Made our dashboards look like pitch decks for investors. Jude tried to lead on behavior clustering, messed up the logic chain twice. Lyle fixed it both times without saying a word. Eventually, Jude started staying late just to keep up. He stopped interrupting, started asking questions. Still tense, but at least now he was listening. 8 weeks in, we delivered our first upgrade, a full predictive engagement model, clean, tested, client-ready. It used 5 signals to project drop-off risk and recommend next steps in real time. We pushed it live to a test group Thursday at 4 p.m. By Monday, retention jumped 5 points in the flag segment. The execs called an emergency review. Imogen sat at the head of the table, arms folded. "Show me," she said. We did. Live dashboard, clean flow, hard numbers. Tessa ran the visual. Lyle explained the logic. I kept quiet until the end. "How fast can we roll this out?" she asked. I didn't smile, didn't blink. "We're already ahead of schedule." She leaned back and said nothing else, but I saw it in her face. We weren't just proving them wrong anymore. We were making them irrelevant. After the engagement model went live, the ripple was instant. Executives started looping us into calls before we even offered. Directors asked for walkthroughs. PMS forwarded our work like it was gospel. In 6 months, we went from the storage room to the center of company innovation. We didn't chase projects. Projects chased us. We built a modular system, plug-and-play tools that worked across departments, sales, marketing, ops. We cleaned their data, sharpened their reports, gave them answers they didn't know they needed. That's when Rowan came back. He didn't send an email, just showed up outside the new workspace. Not dramatic, not desperate. "I was wrong," he said. "Should have backed you from the start." I nodded once. No smile, no fake forgiveness. "You want in?" I asked. "You start under Lyle. Satellite team. No shortcuts." He blinked. "Lyle's leading now?" "Yup." He didn't complain, just said, "Okay." The irony stung for both of them, but credit where it was due, Rowan showed up. He took the training courses we designed for new hires, sat in the front row, took notes like a rookie. He asked real questions, owned his blind spots, didn't try to run the room, just earned his way back. Jude stuck with us the whole time. He never tried to outshine anyone, didn't apologize with words, but his behavior shifted. He became the guy who showed up early, filled in gaps, fixed small issues before they became big ones. Not flashy, just dependable. And, honestly, that meant more to me than any "I'm sorry" ever could. The rest, they didn't fight us, they didn't sabotage. They just fell behind, still clinging to the way things used to be, still sitting in the same chairs, in the same meetings, saying the same things. We didn't fire them, didn't ice them out. We just kept moving, and they didn't. When we rolled out the company-wide system overhaul, we booked the big auditorium, live demo, interactive dashboards. We handed out tablets and ran it like a product launch. My team led it all. Lyle on data structure, Tessa on interface, Jude on integration, Rowan on testing. I stood to the side, watched it unfold. Didn't need to say much. Up in the front row, the executives were glued to the screens. Imogen was locked in. Even Bennett looked impressed. Back row, that's where the old guard sat, silent, watching. Not enemies anymore, just irrelevant. After the rollout, things didn't slow down. They exploded. We became the blueprint. Other divisions mimicked our system. Executives started modeling new projects around our approach. That's when the VCS started circling. One firm sent a cold email. Another sent a team to observe. Then came the calls, the offers, the equity splits, all of them asking the same question. What if you built your own company from scratch? Same methods, your rules, no limits. I didn't answer right away, but I didn't dismiss it either. I booked a one-on-one with Imogen, just her and me in the executive lounge upstairs. I've had offers, I said. Real ones. She didn't blink, didn't ask who. You've outgrown us, she said. Just promise not to poach too many people. I smiled for the first time in a while. I won't need to, I told her, and I didn't. Lyle called me 2 weeks after I made the move, said he was in, no questions asked. Tessa followed right after, sent her resignation with a fully built UI mock-up attached. Then came the unexpected ones. People I didn't even think were watching. Folks from marketing, client ops, even finance. Said they wanted in, said they were tired of meetings and needed momentum again. We moved fast, opened a small office in Atlanta. Cheap rent, ugly walls, tons of potential. We brought back the 3 rules. Adapt fast, collaborate hard, leave ego at the door. 1 year in, we were profitable. 2 years in, we were advising firms 5 times our size. Then, out of nowhere, Jude showed up. He didn't email first, just walked into our office one Friday, same quiet swagger. Didn't think I'd see you here, I said. I thought you finally got the role you wanted. He nodded once, shrugged. It's not about titles anymore, he said. It's about doing work that matters. I didn't give him an answer right then. Made him go through the same process as everyone else. He earned his seat, just like the rest of us. 5 years after that stupid petition hit my desk, I looked around and realized half my leadership team had once tried to push me out. And now, they were my most loyal, most invested, most relentless. We didn't win because we were nicer or smarter. We won because we never stopped building. 5 years in, we threw a dinner, private room, real linen napkins, the kind of place with wine lists that needed translations. Everyone showed up, polished shoes, blazers instead of hoodies. For once, no laptops on the table. Near the entrance, mounted on the wall in a black frame, was the petition, the original copy. 23 names, not to shame anyone. Just to remind them, your worst day might be the reason for your best one. People walked by it without saying much. Some paused. Some looked straight past it like it wasn't there. I didn't care. I didn't give speeches often. Never liked the spotlight. But that night, I stood up. Fork against glass, one quick tap. I want to thank everyone who signed that petition, I said. No sarcasm, no bitterness. You gave me the clarity I needed. A few people laughed, quiet, awkward. A few looked down, but most nodded, because they got it now. They knew what it had cost. Rowan sat near the back, still not a fan of attention, but solid. He ran one of our satellite teams now, efficient, respected, self-sufficient. Jude was mid-convo at the next table over, probably talking contracts. He oversaw integration partnerships now. Never missed a deadline, never tried to run the show. Tessa sat next to Lyle, reviewing a new UI she'd mocked up on her phone before dessert hit the table. She ran all design, every client dashboard, every pitch deck. It all came through her hands. And Lyle, second in command. He earned that spot with discipline, not noise. If I disappeared tomorrow, he'd keep this thing moving like clockwork. We weren't perfect, but we were sharp, fast, honest, and hungry. Every person in that room had been tested, some more than once. Some had failed, then come back swinging. As I looked around, I didn't feel proud. I felt settled, not content, not soft, just steady. Because I didn't get here through revenge. I didn't build this off ego or anger. I built it through proof, through execution, through results. And that was the best payback of all.